News Channel 3.
Welcome to the Richmond Coliseum, where East Region first-round action continues. The Privateers of New Orleans meeting the Tar Heels of North Carolina. They'll play for the last spot open on Sunday. Texas Tech just advanced with a 1-point win over Northern Illinois. New Mexico and Georgetown advanced this afternoon. Tick Price, in just his second year as the head coach at the University of New Orleans, he took his team to another 20-win season. Their best player, Tyrone Garris, guarded 15 points a game, hit the shot that won the Sun Belt Championship for them and got them here. North Carolina, coached by Dean Smith, in the tournament for the 22nd consecutive year. It is Dean Smith's 35th year as Tar Heel head coach. They've got the great experienced backcourt of senior Dante Calabria, junior Jeff McInnes, and superb freshman forward Antoine Jamison. New Orleans in blue. And the first shot goes by the Privateers, James Douglas.
And immediately New Orleans extending the defense in an attempt to press. So much was said last year about North Carolina only having an 8-man rotation. North Carolina team noted for having 12 high school All-Americans and playing 10 or 11 players at a time. But this year, even more so shorthanded, playing basically just 7 players.
Antoine Jamison missing, and New Orleans there for the rebound. New Orleans 21-8 this year. And here's Garris. Hits a three. A senior from Philadelphia, Tyrone Garris. And New Orleans has a 5-0 lead.
Very confidently just lulled the defense asleep, slowed down his pace and his dribble, and then quickly jumped up before the defense had a chance to react and knock down that three.
Jeff McInnes. And Douglas rebounds for New Orleans. Number 3 on the way is knocked down by Lewis Sims. And set off the alarm clock for the Tar Heels. It's 8-0. Make that a 2. I'm sorry, they scored that at 2, so it's 7-0 New Orleans.
What a nice look on a draw and kick by the offense of New Orleans. You'd think in a game like this that New Orleans might come out and play with some butterflies, but they're in a groove and they're focused.
Alamoa Okunlaja, freshman, getting North Carolina on the board. Tyrone Garris hits again. Well, New Orleans is 4 for 4. They're playing before a less than friendly crowd, a large contingent of North Carolina fans here in Richmond. But New Orleans got here by beating Arkansas Little Rock on their home court to win the Sun Belt Championship.
New Orleans, a very experienced team. 10 junior college players on this squad.
They have no freshmen. I don't think I've seen a team this year in college basketball that doesn't have at least one freshman. Boy, a bomb by Sims, and that is definitely a 3. 12-2, New Orleans has made their first 5 shots.
And that's a tough defensive call when at 6'8", 230, Sims gets the ball about 8 feet from behind the arc. You have a tendency as a defender to wait for him to move a little bit closer, thinking he's out of his range, but certainly Sims having no part of that.
And McInnes, good, strong backdoor move, and he's fouled.
Well, did North Carolina ever need that? You see the nice backdoor pass by Calabria. McInnes regaining his balance. Really set up by good movement without the basketball. Calabria and McInnes being on the same page. The nice low delivery of that bounce pass, and then McInnes' ability to get the ball close to the rim and draw the foul.
North Carolina lost so much they lost 51 points a game from last year's team with Rasheed Wallace and Jerry Stackhouse going pro early, and then Donald Williams also leaving. The one thing they still have, though, in this tournament, experience in the backcourt between Calabria and McGinnis. 19 tournament games. But experience doesn't seem to matter much for New Orleans.
When you're able to catch the ball in the zone and Sims knocks down that shot.
6 in a row by New Orleans. And Sims with a rebound. 15-5. New Orleans up 4 minutes in. Douglas backs Zwicker up, and there's the first privateer miss. And Calabria on the outlet.
But that's North Carolina's game, is to play solid defense and pound that defensive board and then look to run off your misses. That's the first time that they've been able to do that.
The loose ball batted, and Zwicker spikes it. Jamison coming up hobbling for Carolina. Antoine Jamison hobbling on his left leg as Calabria hits a three, and he's fouled. Well, Calabria knocking down a three as he was fouled, but of more concern to North Carolina is Antoine Jamison. He's going to leave the ball game right now as he is hobbling off. And an already thin Tar Heel team cannot afford to lose Jamison.
You know, and all of a sudden you become very, very small. Carter at 6'5". Certainly not the intimidating force on the inside. Our rebounder is Antoine Jamison.
Shammond Williams, sophomore guard off the bench for Carolina. Calabria at the line. Well, this game had no trouble getting going, did it? 4.5 minutes in, it's 15-11, New Orleans.
Well, here's the play that caused the injury to Antoine Jamison. You see Garris, number 3, penetrates, and as Antoine goes up to block the shot, he actually comes down on his own teammate, Zwicker, and that's how he rolls the left ankle.
He's been replaced by Vince Carter, another highly regarded freshman. One of 3 freshmen in the 7-man North Carolina rotation. But there's Douglas. 17-11 New Orleans.
Right now, New Orleans playing very focused, concentrating each trip down the floor. With the exception of one shot, they've gotten excellent looks at the basket.
Backdoor by Calabria. That's 8 for the Carolina senior. New Orleans in their 4th NCAA tournament. They've won just 1 game. It was in 1987 over BYU. Douglas with a putback. Doesn't get it, but he does draw a foul.
You gotta get more physical with them, motherfucker. All right, let's go. Get it now. Let's go.
New Orleans in the Sun Belt Conference now. They have a large enrollment by basically a commuter school, and they have played some very good basketball a long time under Coach Tim Floyd, who's now at Iowa State. They played it in the shadow of Tulane and LSU. And what a marvelous story. Tick Price, in his 2nd year as New Orleans head coach, he came to New Orleans as an assistant for Tommy Joe Eagles. Took the job when Tim Floyd went to Iowa State. Tommy Joe Eagles was on a recruiting trip. Suffered a heart attack and passed away. Tick Price learned about that and thought seriously about quitting. Didn't know if he could continue. 5 days later, he was given the job as head coach.
And it was interesting. Coach Price told us yesterday that after he decided that he would go ahead and take the job, it took him a long time before he even accepted the fact that that was now his office and it no longer belonged to Coach Eagles.
Tick Price, even yesterday, gets very emotional talking with us about that loss, and he says, Tommy Joe's watching us. I know it every day. Vince Carter missing a putback, but Carolina gets a 3rd try, and finally New Orleans up with the ball. Jason Wright is their point guard. Doesn't score much, just 6 points a game.
White had been a starter earlier. Lost that position in January.
New Orleans has Tyrone Garris now out of the ball game. Jermaine Spivey in with the ball. Driving the lane, gets it to go.
New Orleans still feeling the effects of that hot start. I'd like to have been in the locker room and listened to Coach Price's pregame talk, because New Orleans has certainly come in here fired up, ready to play.
Now to clear out for McInnes. Jamon Williams. And Douglas with the rebound. Sims lets it fly. And Garner just barrels in to draw a rebound foul. Javon Garner, senior center, picks up his second.
With much better pressure that time, North Carolina sprinting down the floor and matching up with the perimeter shooters in transition of New Orleans. And that's what actually forced that missed shot with good defense.
Not only the 850 wins for Dean Smith, 60 wins, 6-0 wins in the NCAA tournament. Just think about that.
Unbelievable.
The only time Carolina, since seeding started in '79, the only time Carolina was a lower seed is Okulaja passed the ball out. Looked like he had a sure dunk. And now Carolina fouls in the backcourt. Jamison back in the ball game after turning his left ankle, commits the foul. The only time Carolina was a lower seed was 1990 when they were the 8th seed. But in that tournament, they upset Oklahoma, which was the #1 team in the country. And Carolina got to the Sweet 16.
You mentioned earlier about Okulaja throwing that ball out. A lot of times when you rebound on the inside and you really don't like the balance of the shot, it's a smarter move to get rid of it and give your team a better opportunity for the look.
And New Orleans bringing in Andy Siegel off the bench, and he is called for a foul. That's going to be a moving screen. And that's usually how you get a moving screen called. The defender's going to knock you over. 4 team fouls against New Orleans, 2 against North Carolina.
And that's good ball pressure. Dante Glenn doing a very good job of keeping that ball away from the defense. Again, pressure by Spivey.
Vince Carter. And there's Jamison by himself, missed the putback. But the ball picked up again, and Jamison puts it in.
Jamison staying with it. The first one was a very easy shot. The second one was awfully difficult, off balance, and trying to avoid walking.
Calabria playing Garris. Siegel. Boom. Jamison recovers.
Just an excellent move. Patience by Andy Siegel.
But Jamison said no. In Richmond, Virginia, first round East Region action, New Orleans leading North Carolina by 5. One of the big challenges for a team like New Orleans is to not look at the front of that jersey and read that name of the school and be intimidated by that.
And only concern yourself with the team at hand, the players that you're playing right now, and that's certainly where that 10 junior college players on your roster will lend to your confidence.
Well, Serge Zwicker at 7'2", pulls down the rebound. McInnes inside for Jamison and knocked away. Defense well by Quan Johnson.
And also on the perimeter. McInnes under pressure and really not having the angle to feed the low post. Might have been better off kicking the ball out to Zwicker, getting it back, and then improving that angle off the dribble. Good
scoring so far, dominated by New Orleans. Carolina's going to get a lot of their points from their backcourt. McInnes and Calabria. There's Vince Carter. And New Orleans clears it. See all the scores go by. A perfect first round for the Big East. 5-0. Not a good first round for the ACC. 1-3 so far. Sims missing inside, and McInnes rebounds. Georgia Tech and North Carolina playing right now. 5-point New Orleans lead. Zwicker. Juan Johnson, 6'4", going up big for the rebound. Suddenly New Orleans learning what it's like to miss.
Cooling off after that 6-for-6 started. Cool down to a smoldering 62%.
Lewis Sims giving up to Garris.
A lot of touches this possession by New Orleans. Moving the ball, setting good screens.
Douglas missing. Well, New Orleans couldn't miss the first 5 minutes of the game, and now they're having trouble making one.
And that time I thought they really exercised a lot of patience in their half-court offense. They moved it around and got a wide-open shot.
Oh, great drive. McInnes got right in. Jeff McInnes, 16 points a game, 5 here. And New Orleans missing is Spivey. Had the layup roll off. Zwicker. Well, Carolina was down 10 early, now back within a point.
McInnes that time literally handing the ball to Zwicker, and all he had to do was just take hold of it and lay it in. That's how easy a play that was set up by great guard play in McInnes.
New Orleans has missed its last 5 shots.
2-3 zone. North Carolina changing the defense.
And the ball stolen. Pass went right to McInnes. Oh, look at that shot by Carter. And big Zwicker. Another try. And Zwicker will end up at the foul line.
Well, there's several things that happened on that fast break. Some of them highlight material, except for the last part. You see the nice dish, and that's just an off-balance attempt by Vince Carter to make the shot. He just wanted to keep it alive and not travel. But watch Zwicker. He's going to keep the ball high. We used to teach the big men, keep the ball high, let it fly. Don't make yourself small, but he gets backed up.
They didn't call that a shooting foul. 5 fouls against New Orleans now. But you're right, so many big men bring that ball down where the little guys can knock it away. And Zwicker, as you're taught, kept it up high. Okalaja back in the game for Carolina. It's Calabria. Zwicker for 2 and a foul.
The big fella. Zwicker's just got to make himself ready to catch these passes. Good dribble penetration that time by Dante, and he just, again, literally hands the ball to Zwicker. Zwicker's got to keep those hands above his waist and those palms. He's enjoying it. Those palms pointing towards the basketball, so he's not surprised or caught off guard. He's able to catch and finish.
Well, Carolina has its first lead, coming back from 10 down to lead by 2.
A tradition unlike any.
As you were saying, Larry, if Zwicker could just stand there and catch the ball the way these guards penetrate, he have a big night.
He really hasn't, and they've been very easy passes, both by Calabria and McInnes. Just keep your hands above your waist, make yourself available, and watch for the basketball. I'd love to play with guys that hand me the ball for layup.
Make sure you take them out to dinner once in a while. Well, a 9-0 run by North Carolina. Look at Douglas open inside. Well, there's no question that this team, longtime ACC watchers tell you, is one of the weaker defensive teams. A great tradition of defense by North Carolina. It forced the fewest turnovers ever by Carolina teams since they started keeping the stat, and probably played more zone this year than any Carolina team.
Coach Smith has always been very innovative college coach, mixing up his defenses, run and jump, double teams in the half court. Coach Smith was double teaming the ball before it really became popular in college basketball. It's always been something that was utilized in the NBA.
But both last year and this year, he hasn't had the depth to really do that. Playing 8 guys last year, 7 this year. And a lot of freshmen.
Mark of a great coach, adjusting to the situation, starting 2 freshmen for only the 2nd time in 35 years of coaching.
New Orleans rebounding. Swicker's miss. Lewis Sims with a pull-up. North Carolina by 1. And I don't think Dean Smith very happy with Calabria with a quick shot there.
Those 2 transition plays by both teams really mirror images of each other. Both teams pushing the ball on misses, but not looking to get the high percentage shot, electing to take the 3. When New Orleans started off 6 for 6, and they cooled down 2 for 13.
Shot clock at 5. And Douglas on the baseline. And the Privateers return to the lead by a point.
That's really the 2nd time since North Carolina has been in that zone defense. And New Orleans has really looked to move it around the perimeter and attack that zone on the baseline.
McGinnis to Okulaja, and that's a 3. The freshman that not a lot was expected of. No one really knew quite what they would find with Ademola Okulaja. Nigerian by birth, grew up in Berlin, Germany. It's been a very pleasant surprise replacing Carter in the starting lineup.
Next, an outside shooter is evident by that draw and kick. North Carolina in the first half, they've had a great deal of success off the dribble, penetrating and making those nice little interior passes, or as in that last play, penetrating and then the nice kick out. But they're able to beat the defense of New Orleans at the point of attack, and that's on the ball off the dribble.
McGinnis, great penetration. North Carolina in white leading New Orleans by 4. This is the largest Carolina lead. New Orleans made their first 6 shots tonight and jumped out to a 15-5 lead. They've gone ice cold since then. 3 missing by Brown. Lewis Sims, and Swicker has another block.
Swicker actually going up twice on that play. He got faked out initially.
Now it's a big Carolina run, and Tick Price on the New Orleans bench wants a 20. A 22nd timeout. This is a 25-8 North Carolina run.
Now you watch Swicker, he's going to leave his feet, come down. He keeps that right arm up, so he's still in a position to at least contest the shot, but he's able to quickly get back up with that long arm extended and block the shot.
After making their first 6, New Orleans has dropped to just 39% shooting. And Carolina, as they have all year, getting great production from their backcourt. 8 points from Calabria, 10 so far from Jeff McGinnis.
You got the feeling Jeff McGinnis on dribble penetration made that corkscrew shot that he started to feel it. He was getting himself in the zone, and when he came down and just popped that last shot, he turned to the bench and smiled, and he's feeling it now. He's feeling it.
And what Carolina have been doing is they've been clearing out, sending 4 men down and letting McGinnis just go. Beat his man.
Use his quickness and create off the dribble.
New Orleans, the champs of the Sun Belt Conference Tournament, beat Arkansas Little Rock on Little Rock's home floor. Get to the tournament. And there's a jumper. Tyrone Garris made the layup at the buzzer to win the game in Little Rock.
He called that layup that he made a teardrop because it left all the fans disappointed and they cried. He's a big-time player, and he's got a quick release, very compact on his shot.
Swigger towering over Lewis Sims. And Carolina keeping it alive, volleyballing it until Sims corrals it for New Orleans.
Good double team.
And Garris's pass to Antoine Jamison.
Garris really surprised by that double team. Zwicker came over to aid it, really not facing the court. Garrison getting a look to see where the other 4 players were on his team, made a blind pass, and consequently turned it over.
Another clear out for McGinnis. Oh, look at the explosive move by Vince Carter on the baseline.
With a nice move on the baseline, but that whole play set up by Jeff McGinnis, he sort of froze the defense. They thought he was going to take the shot, and when he kicked it out, the defense froze, and that enabled Carter to walk the ball on the baseline and get that easy shot.
Calabria in the passing lane creates the turnover. The Tar Heels run. Great job by Jamison. And let's see, did it hit Jamison before it hit the court? And it did. The ball's going to be New Orleans. North Carolina leading by 7.
I do not drive to work.
Very low turnover total for both teams for the half. Those last 2 hurt New Orleans. New Orleans had a 10-point lead. They opened up 15-5. Since then, it has been all North Carolina. Spivey in the game for the Privateers.
North Carolina switching their defenses, going from that 2-3 zone out of timeout or dead ball situations back to the man-to-man.
Another ball thrown away, and here's McGinnis to Jamison, but he could not catch it. That's for the spectacular play.
Sometimes turnovers come in droves. It's infectious, just like that flu bug that's going around. You start making bad decisions, or the spectacular decision, you can make bad plays.
New Orleans has brought in Sean Long, a 6-foot junior and a better 3-point shooter. He just missed there. Pennzoil at the half coming up. We'll go back to New York with Jimmy Clark. We'll take 5 look-ins at the other games in progress. One of exciting games. We had one here with Texas Tech surviving a 1-point win over Northern Illinois. Tulsa and Louisville played an overtime classic this afternoon. And Iowa with a tremendous comeback. They appeared down and out against George Washington. The Hawkeyes came back to win. Texas Tech taking a look at winner of this game that they will play on Sunday before they head back to their hotel.
A lot of coaches will allow their teams an opportunity to see the competition, let them watch the first half, then get them back in the hotel so they can get rested and prepared.
We're talking with Dave Bliss about that this afternoon. The Mexico coach, we were sure he didn't want his team to see too much of Allen Iverson. That'd be a little intimidating.
Well, that can have the negative effect if you watch your opponent play great.
The biggest lead, Carolina by 8. Trying to add to it. Jamison finally tips it in. Carolina really hurting New Orleans on offensive rebounds, Larry.
And they're making the extra pass in transition, and that's what's enabling the bigger players, the front line players in North Carolina to get down the floor. Because they're making the extra passes, the open man on North Carolina is getting the shot. Doesn't surprise anybody, so you're able to get to the offensive board.
Carolina with a 10-3 edge in offensive rebounds. And Calabria knocks that down. I'd say Jeff McGinnis has been a sterling first half for Carolina's point guard.
He pushed the ball up the court. His head was up. He knew exactly where he wanted to go the entire time he had the ball. He did look inside first, but he had Dante Calabria spotted up in rhythm. These two have been doing that for quite some time.
Calabria out harassing. Looks like he's trying to foul on purpose.
And Coach Smith wanted him to give that foul, but give it earlier.
Yeah, because Carolina only has 3 team fouls. So Calabria fouling Garris. Carolina trying to prevent New Orleans from getting any shot off here. In fact, now Shammond Williams is going to replace Calabria. And Vince Carter in 2, and Dean Smith's telling them to foul.
And that's why he make those substitutions, right, so those starters would not pick up the fouls in this situation.
Well, actually, North Carolina can foul 2 more times here, and there's only 3.7 seconds to play.
And they'll get those in.
Good play by Garris. And the Privateers get a shot as Quan Johnson misses. Boy, that was a heads-up inbounds by Tyrone Garris. Well, that's the end of the first half. Carolina leads New Orleans 38-25. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship continues after this message and a word from your local station.
All right, with Carolina leading at halftime, we want to get right out to the action for the end of the first half in Milwaukee. Texas by 7 over Michigan. They have a minute to go there in the first half. Bob Rathbun and Billy Packer are there.
Under a minute remaining in the first half here in Milwaukee with Texas leading Michigan 41-34.
Highland doing a good job on Freeman. They just haven't been able to shake him loose. And they need his points now the rest of the way.
The shot clock at 10.
Perriman can't shake Taylor.
Perriman throws it up and off. Followed by Freeman.
How about that putback? He is not a great shooter, but he is an outstanding scorer.
And Michigan uses its first half 22nd timeout.
Here's Perriman. He had Taylor so he could beat him off the dribble. It comes up, a little running one-hander, but here comes Freeman out of nowhere to put it back up to that patented left hand of his.
Reggie Freeman led the Southwest Conference in scoring, the 6th conference scoring champion in 8 years for Tom Penders.
Not unusual in the style that they play, but in the case of Freeman, he's worked so hard on his game. He estimated he shot over 300 jumpers a day to create that part of his game to make him tough to guard. So it goes with all the herky-jerky moves that he has. Now he's got the jump shot to go with it.
26.2 left in the half. The shot clock is off.
Freeman this year had the first triple-double in Texas history against TCU. 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Conley.
20 seconds. Anybody going to jump out on him here?
Dixon drops off. Now Alvarado comes.
Good move.
Double. Morton.
Good move by Texas.
And Texas takes a timeout. They've got a 20 to burn, and they wisely use it here.
Excellent move with Alvarado coming out just at the right time. They let Michigan use up some clock. Then the ball goes down in the corner to an unlikely shooter.
Texas by 9, and the chance here to expand the lead coming up.
Now you would think the clock would go into the ball game. You want somebody that can just take off to the basket and finish. You got Freeman out there. Let's see what Tom Penders does. Clock doesn't look like he's going to come in. Jordan stays out there. Remember what Dave Odom did in this situation with Wake Forest? Just said, hey guys, get the ball in bounds and sit on it. I don't think we'll see that from Texas. I think they'll try to score here. Will they go long?
It's going to be Perriman.
Freeman, jump shot.
Does not beat the buzzer. And it is halftime in Milwaukee. Tom Penders and the Longhorns up 43-34. Jim Nance and Clark Kellogg coming along in just a moment. Halftime in Milwaukee.
In action right now out in Tempe, Arizona. And it's the Wildcats, the number 3 seed, leading 25-10 over Valparaiso from Indiana. And let's go there right now for a little taste of the action. Bill McAtee and Dan Bottom.
Arizona in white. They lead 25-10. McClain. Very physical basketball game here in Tempe. This is Terry. The 3.
Arizona's defense has been outstanding. Valparaiso just simply can't get anything going on the offensive end, and now it looks like the Arizona offense kicking into high gear.
Timeout on the floor. 8:28 left to play in the first half.
Arizona up 18. That one looks like it could get ugly. Already up 18 in that one. Now, the other game being played at the moment is in Orlando. Georgia Tech and Austin Peay. Were they hot? 60% from the field, over 60%, both teams in the first half. Bobby Grimmon's team only led by 4 at the intermission. And Matt Harping on the pass from Drew Barry. Governors, though, stay close. Colby Pierce with the steal. And watch him go all the way.
Nice look away to get the lane to the middle. Austin Peay really does a good job going from defense to offense.
Cole Casbin has to watch from the bench, broken foot. Stephon Marbury driving layup for Georgia Tech. And we were talking about this game really being a race. And 60-51, they are still simmering down there in Orlando, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got it going on. Up and down, up and down. It's a fun game to watch.
So we had 3 ACC teams lose. Then Wake won earlier today. Carolina leads. Georgia Tech leads. And we're going to pick up the play now in Orlando. They're coming out of the break. Here's Sean McDonough with Bill Raftery on the call.
Yellow Jackets by 9, 15:41 remaining in the second half. Georgia Tech led by 4 at halftime. Came out flying to start the second half, hit their first 4 shots from the floor. But since then, they've turned it over 4 times. They're still 4 for 4 this half.
Defensively, I think Georgia Tech stepped up too, and that's the difference right now. Been more solid, and they get a little slippage right here as Maddox helps out, and they don't convert.
Crenshaw missed an easy one. And Maddox rebounded. Marbury unselfishly to Harpring. He cannot miss.
This team loves to give it up, and it all stems from Drew Barry. The extra just set up Marbury and Marbury the extra hit, and Barry got a piece of that one too, Sean.
And Maddox a block. Harpring is 9 out of 10. He has 21 points. Saunders from the same spot. And Harpring hit from a moment ago, and the rebound to Bubba Wells. 12-point lead for Georgia Tech. Pierce. This is the largest lead for Tech, and a swat by Saunders.
All right, just a quick look at that game, and we'll keep an eye on everything for you folks. But they're getting set to get the second half underway in Richmond, North Carolina, 33-10 after being down 15-5. And we'll get you out there for the second half as we continue in just a moment.
Pennzoil at the half was sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
Just a quick reminder from the Grand Am people. Life is good in the right car.
This is CBS. Of all the words that describe the 1996 Ford Taurus, more does it better than the rest. Because the all-new Ford Taurus is more. Longer and wider with more interior room. More safety features with dual airbags and safety cell construction. And Taurus received the highest rating in a recent safety test. And now Taurus is...
And by Goodyear.
Here in Richmond, North Carolina outscored New Orleans 16-2 over the final 6.5 minutes of the first half to take that 13-point lead at the half. Story really, Larry, was rebounding. Carolina was dominant on the boards.
15 offensive rebounds. When you give yourself those second chance opportunities that close to the basket, you're going to have a lot of success.
Well, now, if you're in Tick Price's shoes as a coach, what at halftime can you do to say, okay, Jeff McGinnis of Carolina's really taken this game over? What kinds of things can we try to do to slow him down?
Well, he's 1 for 4, McGinnis, from behind the arc. So play him softer and invite him to take the three-point shot. If he knocks down a couple of those, then you've got to push up and honor that. But by playing off of McGinnis, you take away his ability to penetrate. And that's where he's getting into the heart and soul of this New Orleans defense. It's when he's penetrated the defense, he's been able to score in there, but he's got 5 assists in the first half by getting in there and jumping off those easy passes.
There is a three that misses, and Javon Garner of New Orleans rebound. Privateers in the blue running the floor. Wright's pass deflected out of bounds. Well, New Orleans does have a terrific ability this year to come back. They've won 8 games, the Privateers have, in which they were trailing at halftime. None of them have been against a team like North Carolina. That's still great comeback ability.
To be able to come back, you've got to go in the locker room at halftime, make adjustments, and believe in your ability to come back and execute those adjustments.
Lewis Sims. And there's a three for New Orleans. Sims' third three. He has 11 points.
North Carolina opening the second half in that 2-3 zone. And New Orleans very patient. North Carolina, I think, will continue to test their outside shooting to see if New Orleans cannot regain that 6-for-6 opening that they had in the first half.
Jamison with the drive and the goal for the Tar Heels.
It's one of the big-time improvements in Jamison's game is his ability to catch the ball on the floor and create off the dribble.
And Serge Zwicker rebounds for Carolina.
North Carolina very quietly going from zone to man, man to zone. And if it catches you off guard and you don't recognize that quickly, you can get through about a quarter of your possession not knowing exactly what defense you're attacking.
And Okulaja, it's a three. So now the Carolina Tar Heels have a 15-point lead. And New Orleans puts that ball down, and this will be a violation. And right now, frustration starting to show on the faces of the Privateers. And Tick Price, their coach who played in this very building for 2 years at Virginia Commonwealth, still holds Virginia Commonwealth's freshman scoring record. He had a 36-point game in this building. Then transferred, played his last 2 years at Virginia Tech. He has about 40 family, extended family, and super extended family here at the game tonight.
Coach Price told us yesterday that he became very popular when his team was assigned this region.
Okulaja spotting Jamison. Acrobatic shot doesn't go, and Jamison he got whacked in the face.
Oh, it's a good pass.
Sims missing a three, and Okulaja rebounding for the Tar Heels.
Javon Garner making a very good pass. He was tied up on the baseline. Roger. He's a typical European-style player, very good at catch and shoot.
And there's a three with a foul. Jeff McInnes.
You see the skip pass. McInnes squaring to the basket and quickly beating the defender. He said, yes, give me that look. I'll knock it down every time. It's your assist.
Well, this has been a tremendous game for North Carolina. Yeah, they've had a terrific rebounding edge, but after that blistering New Orleans start, McInnes and Clay really have set a tone, haven't they?
They found that one niche against the defense of New Orleans, and that's dribble penetration. And when you dribble penetrate, you really open up a lot of scoring opportunities. But when you start to force the defense on the inside to rotate over, that's when you also open up the opportunities to get offensive rebounds. You make the defense commit to the drive. There's nobody there on the help side to box out. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Look at McInnes, great penetration, and Zwicker tips in Jamison's miss. .1 lead now, and 11-0 North Carolina Spirit.
Soft man-to-man defense. Man-to-man defense, again, when it's soft, encourages you to shoot quickly or take the outside shot.
New Orleans scored 15 points in the first 4.5 minutes of this game. Basically, in the next 20 minutes, they've scored only 13 points. Elijah. Well, what appeared in the early moments to be a frightening night for the Tar Heels has completely turned around.
We hope defensively when teams come out and they start to blister the nets, as New Orleans did, that you can play through a period like that by playing good defense, applying pressure, and getting on that defensive board.
McInnes, 3 more. And McInnes backpedals up, a little strut. 17 for Jeff McInnes.
McInnes certainly does not lack in confidence or flair.
16 straight points by North Carolina. Tar Heels lost 3 of their last 4, including a first-round loss to Clemson in the ACC tournament. That's what gave some folks the belief New Orleans should come in and make this an interesting 6 versus 11 game. They did in the first 5 minutes. They made it awfully interesting.
You knock down shots like that, it's awfully easy. And it appeared that New Orleans, they got a lot of those shots on hustle plays and sprint plays, transition, good decisions, and they've hit a wall and have just not been able to get open shots and put those open shots in the basket.
And Tar Heels not missing anything here in the second half. That's 18 consecutive points. Douglas draws a foul.
Going to get Zwicker on the inside. It appeared that he leaned over and reached in and drew that foul.
And now a mass substitution for North Carolina. Shamon Williams coming in, Vince Carter coming in, and Ed Geff, 6'9", junior from Norfolk, Virginia. I'm sure Ed Geff must have some friends or family here.
He's already a student that's in a position to graduate. He'll be forced to make a decision whether or not to go ahead and graduate or continue to play next year. Foul
shot by Douglas, just the 4th point of the half. But Privateers. They have stats for everything in basketball today, and I was wondering what North Carolina's record might be in games that start at 10 p.m. or later. They're going to like this starting time. 56-29 Tar Heels.
They're out there, and they're not like most of us. There's a passion that unites them, like a family. Some people have even called them rebels. They're Saturn owners.
Hey guys, this must be the place, huh?
Ladies, hurry up! The factory guy's gonna talk.
I don't know. I guess if you don't own one, you probably wouldn't understand.
All set?
You bet I am. Thanks to you.
A few weeks ago with Jesse, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told him about Head & Shoulders. Regular shampoos just rinse flakes away. Head & Shoulders helps prevent flakes from even forming.
Because great hair can't have flakes.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces the first tire with a lifetime tread life warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
Okay, I'm sending the contract to the office right now.
Well, Larry Farmer, you've had a lot of experience with European players. Are they normally emotional?
Well, Serge Zwicker certainly is, and that was his reaction to McGinnis' shot. Now, he steps out on the baseline and scores. Now watch his reaction to his own. A little high five, gets back, play defense.
And right now, Dean Smith able to rest some of his players. Calabria is sitting. Zwicker sitting, McGinnis back in, and Jamison hits the shot. Oh, now North Carolina has doubled New Orleans' score. Hard to believe this game started 15-5 for New Orleans. But since that start, the Privateers have made just 5 of 30 shots.
They've also been out-rebounded, and they really haven't had many opportunities to get second-chance points. They've been out-rebounded 36-19.
And add another one to that with Shammond Williams. Carter banks for 3.
Carter goes down the court. He looks over at Sims, and he glances over at us. He said, I'll take it.
It's a late-night deposit, isn't it?
Bank's open.
61-29. Andy Siegel missing for the Privateers. And up the floor intended for Ed Getz, stolen by Tyrone Garris. That is only the 4th turnover of the game by the Tar Heels.
That's a big-time rebound. That's a man's rebound in traffic.
Ooh, a hard spill by Jamison. I can't imagine anybody thought this game would be this one-sided. North Carolina is awfully impressive.
And Lewis Sims fouling Jamison on that play, but what impressed me about Jamison, he gets that rebound initially in traffic, makes the outlet pass, and then sprints down the floor to put himself in a position to get that layup.
Look at what's happened. McGinnis really has he's controlled the game.
You allow a player with his savvy and his quickness the opportunity to get the ball into that 3-second area. He's only going to hurt your defense and create scoring opportunities for his offense.
Only one defined agility like Edwin Moses. Only one embodied control like Evelyn Ashford. Only one personified endurance like Frank Shorter. Only one runs like this. Seville STS with the North Star system. The great performers are always creating a higher standard.
FedEx has over 33,000 drop-off spots to take your 2-day package. Cost about $12.
UPS has over 75,000 drop-off spots for your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service has over 330,000 drop-off spots for your Priority Mail 2- to 3-day package. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Still dialing 0 to call people collect? Stop! It's expensive. What to do? Dial 1-800-COLLECT. Here's how it works. Just dial 1-800-COLLECT and follow the simple instructions.
Thank you for calling 1-800-COLLECT. Enter the number you wish to call, area code first. Say your name.
Chris.
Please hold while we place your call.
1-800-COLLECT. It's easy when you know how. Hi, honey.
Face it, no other razor shaves closer or with more comfort than Gillette Sensor XL. No razor is better.
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hang on for some late show action when Bruce Willis drops in, plus jazz great Wynton Marsalis, and the fun keeps coming.
Tonight's show is the happiest show ever.
Well, North Carolina with a devastating show, heading to a second-round match with Texas Tech here in Richmond, Virginia. New Orleans has missed its last 10 shots. They just haven't made very many since the early moments of the game. And there they get a layup. Quan Johnson feeding it. James Douglas. Douglas and Sims have 11 points apiece to lead the Privateers. And New Orleans, Quan Johnson called for a foul. In Orlando, Cincinnati and Temple, they'll have a rematch. They met in the first round last year in Salt Lake City, with Cincinnati winning. Boston College knocked Indiana out, and Georgia Tech leading Austin Peay. Latter portion of the second half. The Big East, 5-0 in the first round.
You mentioned earlier, the Big East was down a few years ago, but not out, and they're certainly getting it done this year.
I don't think too many people who see the game care about the RPI. The Big East was the best league this year. And that's the way it is. RPI has become like your dog tag number in college basketball. You know your name, your school, and your RPI rank.
Rounds per minute, RPM.
Calabria. And Swicker with a putback. 11 for Serge Swicker. They go with 9 rebounds.
You just give yourself so many opportunities to look when you're willing to make the extra pass and the shots don't come up as a surprise. One of the few times New Orleans able to battle their way inside and get that second chance look.
Now off the ball. Carolina player down and a foul on New Orleans. On James Douglas. Jamison coming back with McGinnis. Only 8 scholarship players in Carolina uniforms. The rest of their team filled with walk-ons.
Carolina, one of the few teams, college teams in the country that still has a JV program, and through that JV program, they're able to enlist players that try out for the team.
Douglas gets another hoop. Assistant coach Dave Hanners and Phil Ford, for the years taking turns coaching the Carolina junior varsity. Jumping out from Zwicker, but Vince Carter taps it off the glass.
Carter very active. When you're quick and you're explosive and you can assume that shot's missed, oftentimes you can beat the man responsible for boxing you out, beat him to a spot and explode and get that easy putback opportunity. McGinnis that time with that high dribble getting a little bit too cute to execute that play.
8:20 to play here in Richmond, North Carolina. Poised to advance. All 4 of the higher seeds will win their first round games here in Richmond. Well, Texas Tech had the toughest battle. 1-point win on Northern Illinois. McGinnis now with 20. That's his 4th three. .7:49 to play in Richmond. 69-37 North Carolina.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
More luxury, more style, more fun. If you're waiting for your ship to come in, maybe it isn't a ship. Introducing the new Civic Coupe from Honda. Bon voyage.
1879, Siemens invents the first electric locomotive, top speed 10 miles an hour. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens technology can connect cities at over 200 miles an hour and carries millions of commuters with more comfort and convenience all across America. Transportation is just one of Siemens' vast array of technologies that help keep America on the move. Siemens, precision thinking.
.7:49 to play here in Richmond. North Carolina survived a 15-5 opening blitz by New Orleans. And since that time, this game has been dominated by the Tar Heels. They're going to continue an amazing run of first-round wins. 3 Final Fours in the 90s for North Carolina. A tough road to get there this year. As Jamison fouls for North Carolina. There's one of the great types of people you run across in the NCAA tournament. Bill Gleason has been an assistant basketball coach for better than 40 years in the college game and the women's pro game. Tick Price has brought him aboard as an assistant in New Orleans. He played at DePaul there in the early Ray Meyer years. And you know what? For all the coaching he's done, Larry, the most incredible thing that man has done is to father 15 children.
Tick Price, when he hired him over from Tennessee Chattanooga, said, hey, if he can father that many children, he can certainly coach 13 basketball players.
Well, if you had 15 kids today, you'd never get your VCR to be able to watch game tapes. You'd be running Barney all day long. Fourth foul on New Orleans' Javon Garner. A glum look for Tick Price, who hoped for much better things on his homecoming here to the Virginia Commonwealth campus. Got to give North Carolina credit. They did not phased at all by New Orleans hitting its first 6 shots.
They stuck with their game plan, and that's what you expect from a team that has a veteran backcourt. Create so much offense for their front line off the dribble by making the extra pass. And McGinnis and Calabria just took over handling the responsibilities of either shooting or passing.
Well, here's how the first round stacks up by conference. Great first rounds for the Big East and for the SEC. George Washington came awfully close to making it perfect for the A-10. And North Carolina's about to add a win for the ACC. Arizona will add one for the Pac-10. Juan Jamison now 10 points and 10 rebounds. Vince Carter back to replace him. One of the most interesting things I found out this week, Larry, was that since this field went to 64 teams, only one team that won a postseason tournament in one of the 4 major conferences that have postseason tournaments. That would be the ACC, the Big East, the Big 8, and the SEC. Only one team that won a postseason tournament went on to win the national championship. 1 out of 44. That was Duke. So you look at a team like Carolina, they got stunned, knocked out in the first round of the ACC tournament by Clemson, but they played 1 or 2 fewer grinding games, had a couple of extra days to rest and prepare for the NCAA. You start thinking, hey, maybe that has an effect when they come out and play like this.
I know there are a lot of coaches in the Pac-10, a conference that went to a postseason conference tournament and then eliminated it, that felt that same way. You get those extra games in, you demean your conference to some degree, but your players play those extra games. They have to get up for those games emotionally, and oftentimes they get into that field of 64 with less emotion and fire to play in those games than you might like.
There's one flip side to that, which is that the Pac-10, I think, and the Big Ten get hurt by the fact that some of the bubble teams don't have a chance to pile on some extra victories.
In those power conferences, you don't concern yourself with those bubble teams.
Ron Johnson for New Orleans. Less than 6 minutes to play. And Zwicker. Kind of ball game where you can get away with an extra step or 2. 13 for Zwicker. And now it's going to get a little bit of a CYO look to it. 3-pointer by Tyrone Garris.
CYO, you mean that's where the defense sort of plays in between top of the key to top of the key, and whoever gets the ball first shoots it?
First man across midcourt.
I've been there.
Ooh, Carter came up 3 feet short and got a finger in the eye for his effort.
It's good defense on that pick and roll by North Carolina. Triple awfully high. McGinnis just having a party out there.
Zwicker missing the turnaround. This will be the final game for a slew of New Orleans players. They'll have a whole new cast of characters next year. Tick Price has already signed 3 high school players to join 3 junior college players coming in. They try to keep building on this. There's a timeout Taken by North Carolina. I believe it's going to be, and it is going to be a 20. With 4:15 to play.
Michigan 51. With 2 minutes remaining, Georgia Tech 81.
In Milwaukee. The favored teams have also won today, although Louisville had a tough time. They had to come back late in the game to tie Tulsa and then win it in overtime. And the Michigan-Texas game is also very close in the second half.
There was some notion that Tractor Trailer might be back from that injured arm that he suffered in that car accident, and I don't know whether or not he was available to play, but they said he would be on the Michigan bench.
Georgia Tech having a tougher time than many thought with Austin Peay. The Tech is nursing a 6-point lead in the final minute of that game. Here we have 4:15 to play. It's been a game for North Carolina where they have only committed in this entire game 7 personal fouls.
You don't foul, you don't turn the ball over.
That's it. I don't think they have. How many turnovers? Jimmy, I don't think they have very many turnovers. Only 5 turnovers in the game.
Certainly 2 ingredients into a winning combination. When you take care of the basketball, you don't beat yourself.
There's number 6 as McGinnis lost the ball going in. 3:48 to play in Richmond.
Did you reserve the car with Hertz?
Not exactly, but it's a good deal.
Are they as fast as Hertz?
Not exactly, but what's the rush? We're on vacation.
Dad, are we lost? Hertz gives you computerized directions.
Honey, this is not exactly Hertz, okay?
I hope they have the same emergency road service as Hertz.
Not exactly.
In Rent-A-Car, there's Hertz, and there's not exactly. Make sure you choose the right one.
Are you sure this is the way to the hotel?
Not exactly.
Did you hear that?
After driving through Botswana's never-ending supply of mud, we came upon the largest animal of the land, the African elephant. These massive creatures can plow over trees with the butt of their heads, and spectators best stand clear, for they can pick up objects weighing nearly 2 tons. The preceding has been brought to you by the powerful all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with 20% more cargo room to help you haul big things around.
They're in your town. Help. They're your neighbors. Help. They're your family. Help. They were once just like you. But now they need to fix their out-of-warranty electronics. And they're desperate. Well, they've come to the right place.
Help!
Radio Shack. You've got questions. We've got answers.
At an event that lasts just 2 weeks and features contests that last just 10 seconds, 24 hours is an eternity. Fortunately, UPS now guarantees overnight delivery as early as 8 a.m. from cities worldwide. If UPS can make urgent international deliveries to people who measure their accomplishments in seconds, think what they can do for those on a more relaxed schedule. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
Join 60 Minutes' Ed Bradley at ringside Sunday to watch Muhammad Ali, still the greatest, in the fight of his life against the toughest opponent he ever fought, Parkinson's syndrome.
Now the Tar Heels know they'll be practicing again tomorrow, and they will play Texas Tech on Sunday here in Richmond. 6 seniors on that New Orleans bench playing their final game. How do you envision, Larry, Carolina matching up with Texas Tech?
Up-tempo, speed. Yep. And you got to be concerned if you're Texas Tech by North Carolina's ability to get on the inside of the defense off the dribble.
Sims spinning nicely on Zwicker. Texas Tech, a pretty strong team, a physical team. They've got to be impressed with the way Carolina's rebounded. In fact, Tech got out-rebounded by Northern Illinois.
And that will certainly be a concern, especially at the offensive end. Again, when you allow a team to penetrate, you rotate over to help, you really don't have players on that backside to box out. And North Carolina's gotten fat in this ball game by the putback.
18th foul on New Orleans. And Jeff McInnes. A 20-point night, including 4 threes and 11 assists. Let's point this out because it does bring up an interesting contrast in styles. McInnes' night compared with Allen Iverson, who in the first game today for Georgetown scored 31 points against Mississippi Valley State without an assist. Now, he didn't need to have any assist today, but it is an interesting contrast.
Well, yeah, Iverson had it going on, so he was basically assisting himself. One of those ball games where Iverson got on a roll and he was in the zone, able to create for himself and knock down those open shots. When you get a player that's doing that, you leave it to the other 4 guys to pass the ball.
James Douglas. Foul by Douglas with 2:32 to play. In for Tick Price. And New Orleans, this game will not be one he'll fondly remember, but he got his team here. And last year, in his first year in New Orleans, they won 20 games. They didn't get a call from anybody, the NCAA or the NIT. And they used that disappointment as fuel to motivate this year's team.
And he was, Tick Price, of course, rewarded with District 8 Coach of the Year. And many people talked about him as being one of the finest rookie coaches in the country last year.
Down approaching the 2-minute mark in Carolina. 22 points in front. They've stayed with their 7-man rotation most of the way, but now some of the walk-ons take their sweats off, and the faithful Tar Heel fans here enjoy that. And McInnes with an exclamation point to his great night. And he has now tied his career high, 25 for Jeff McInnes.
Corey Brown coming right back with that one. McInnes just making it look so easy tonight.
Now McInnes picks up an offensive foul with 1:36 to play.
In addition, he picks up Corey Brown.
Now the walk-ons get in the ball game. Actually, one walk-on gets on. Charlie McNary, a junior from Kinston, North Carolina. Ed Geth, Shamon Williams, Calabria, and Carter on the floor for North Carolina. Yesterday, when the 8 teams had their practices here in Richmond, they were open, of course, to the public, and huge fan turnout for North Carolina's practice, and cameras lining the court to get one of the rare opportunities to film a Tar Heel practice, although I must admit it was more of a workout than a full-fledged practice.
There was about 8 or 9 television cameras. It looked like something out of a Hollywood premiere. Coach Smith's really not pleased at all. Every time one of the North Carolina players dunked the ball, the fans would erupt in huge applause, and you could tell that that was really getting under the skin of Coach Smith.
Well, Tyrone Garris gets that shot dropped with a foul. At 1:17 to play. Calabria leading with 12 points.
Number 4, David Beal checks into the North Carolina lineup.
Now, North Carolina has made the Sweet 16 14 of the last 15 years. They will have a stern test in their way Sunday as they try to win their way to Atlanta. They meet the number 3 seed Texas Tech Red Raiders. Georgetown and New Mexico will play in the first game here Sunday.
Here comes Sean Long back for the Privateers.
And although New Mexico and Texas Tech have their own ideas, so they'd like to stop that. There'll be some people, I'm sure they'll start talking about it. An Iverson-McInnes point guard to point guard matchup in the round of 16.
For that blazing matchup with those two ultra-quick players, you better set your tape to go at the slow speed. Otherwise, you'll miss a lot of the action.
Shammond Williams fouled on his drive. A 21-9 season it will be for New Orleans. They shared the Sun Belt regular season title with Arkansas Little Rock and won the championship on Little Rock's home court. Number 1 UMass will tip off tomorrow's coverage of the NCAA tournament on CBS as the second round begins. They meet Stanford, the same team that UMass beat in the second round last year. And all of you will see that game at 12:15 Eastern. We'll be on there with you at 12 noon. UMass beat Stanford by 22 last year in the second round. I don't think it will be that easy tomorrow.
I don't think that Brevin Knight and company will not be talking about that nowhere when they go into that ball game. Brevin Knight from Stanford regarded as one of the premier point guards on the West Coast.
I think he's the premier one on the West Coast. That put him right there with the big boys around the country. With a whistle. I'm not sure why by Ed Hightower. Looks like he called a timeout. I believe McNary of North Carolina called a timeout with 24 seconds remaining here in Richmond.
Six cylinders, 6 carburetors, the biggest motor you can get on 2 wheels. You can't wait. Valkyrie, May 25th.
Computers in Silicon Valley have a model number on them, and that's it. At Gateway 2000, our custom-built computers are treated a little differently. That's because every system we build has a name attached.
Connie Kramer, Connie from New Jersey. This is your computer and it's on television.
Gateway computers feature the Intel Pentium processor. And the only way to get them is to call 1-800-GATEWAY. You get a friend in the business, give us a call.
During development, the Aurora's V8 engine raced the equivalent distance of 31 Indy 500s back-to-back. It also broke 47-speed endurance records, 2 of which had been set by Mercedes. And along the way, it hit a top speed of 3,500 miles per hour. My mistake. That was the Air Force's Aurora. Our version has never been clocked above Mach 3. It's your money.
At BASF, we don't make the cooler. We make it cooler. We don't make the jeans. We make them bluer. We don't make the toys. We make them tougher. We don't make the water scooter. We make it lighter. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
It's over 8 feet long, and most of it's chrome. You can't wait. Valkyrie, May 25th.
More on Nash Bridges action. Inbound to the corner. Back to Nash. Drives the lane. The jump. It's in there. Don Johnson is Nash Bridges, March 29th on CBS.
Well, Carolina took that timeout to get a couple of other walk-ons into the ball game. Webb Tyndall is in. David Neal. Clyde Lynn. And there's a basket. Charlie McNary. Very handsome by Sean Long. Gets 2 for Carolina. Everybody trying to get a piece of the action here.
he get an opportunity to score.
Equal opportunity scoring down the stretch.
Hey, I've been in many a ball game as a player. When you get in, a lot of people call this garbage time. I call it a time to get 2 points.
That's it. Tell your grandkids you scored in the NCAA tournament. Well, a decisive victory for North Carolina. Despite a blazing start by New Orleans, the Tar Heels win it easily, and they advance to the second round here in Richmond and a meeting with Texas Tech. Our genuine Chevrolet players of the game, Tyrone Garris, senior guard for New Orleans, who led them with 17 points, and Jeff McGinnis, who tied his career high with 25 points for the Tar Heels and added 11 assists. With Larry Farmer, this is Ted Robinson in Richmond. Let's send you right now to New York and Jim Nance.
All right, thank you, Ted. So Carolina, leading by as many as 32, goes on to a 21-point win. ACC rebounds tonight, Clark.
Solidly with an impressive win there by North Carolina, Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech. 3-0 tonight to even it up.
Yeah, after starting out this tournament 0-3. We're going to be taking you to this game, Texas and Michigan. They're in a timeout with Michigan trailing by 4 there in Milwaukee. And Bob Rathbun, Billy Packer are courtside, so let's join them at the Bradley Center for the final 3 minutes, 33 seconds in that one.
Texas 72, Michigan 68 with 3:33 to play.
Well, Bob, we mentioned these two teams faced each other in '94 with Michigan coming away with a victory. Back in 1990, Texas was also a 10th seed, and that's the year they went all the way into the Sweet 16, finally losing to Arkansas in the regional final. 88-85 when Nolan Richardson went on to the Final Four. This game's getting tight now. Michigan still in that zone, matching up. 1-2-2, and it's really a flat zone right now. Somebody could get a shot up on the wing, like a pyramid.
Randy pops out, but Freeman goes away from it. Shot clock at 10.
Boy, Jordan could have set a back screen on Fife for Perriman to get a jumper.
Hill takes it, hits it. Lamont Hill has hit some big shots for Texas.
And great defense as well. He's now on Bullock. Really sitting down defensively. He's picked up both the offense and a nice place to trap.
And it's the big man, Jordan.
Terrific job by Texas. Bullock talked himself and worked himself right into a bad trapping spot. Now Michigan has to go back to man-to-man. Clock working against them.
Texas leading by 6. Jordan out to Freeman. Shot clock again.
Pretty good
7.
Pretty good ball fake by Jordan. He's saying to look at the clock.
Freeman over White. Here's Bullock around Perryman up short. Bullock gets it back. Puts it up. Again it's short. Taylor, who's come back to life offensively in the second half.
2 offensive boards by Bullock inside with all the trees. Jordan in there. Clack a good leaper. Baston and Taylor, and it's Bullock that comes away with the ball.
And Texas takes a timeout.
Some tired bodies out here right now, Bob.
They're leaving it all on the 94 by 50 in Milwaukee.
In searching for a luxury performance sedan, Michael Young tested the Oldsmobile LSS against 3 of the fastest Japan has to offer: the Infiniti J30, Lexus ES300, and teppanyaki chef Yasu Norimoto. And while his 240 horsepower LSS was no match for Yasu's speed, not only did Mr. Young fare much better against the imports, he had them for lunch. Will the LSS pass your test?
My migraines kept me from my daughter.
The nausea was awful.
The pain was right here.
There's help for migraine. Migraine doesn't have to mean missing out. Research has given doctors new understanding about migraine. They can diagnose it better and provide surprisingly effective treatment programs.
My doctor helped so much.
Call your doctor today or call 1-800-682-6669 for more information about migraine.
At Citgo, our super premium gasoline will give you the high performance you demand. So prepare yourself to be totally blown away. Super premium performance. Citgo says go.
Men, is gray hair sneaking up on you right under your nose?
It is sneaking up on me. Here, too.
You need Just for Men gel. Brush in, and in 5 minutes, rinse.
It's the sure thing for a natural look.
Just for Men gel.
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Spend some time with an old friend.
He is a talented comic actor who is understandably leery of being typecast. Understood?
Norm! George Wendt is in good company Monday.
The game reset. Michigan with a couple of full timeouts left. Texas still has its second half 20 available. Texas getting the arrow, both teams in the bonus. 74-70. Longhorns with the ball and a minute 37 left.
Timeout needed by both teams here, Bob. Guys were getting tired. A lot of intensity taking place right now on the part of both of these teams on both ends of the floor. Every possession meaning so much. Hill and Bullock out there going against each other on both ends of the floor. And White on Freeman. They go 1-4 to use a little clock here, but Perriman can't beat people one-on-one.
Launches the three.
Not a good idea.
And Baston clears his 11th rebound.
You can see Hill out there in the 1-4, maybe Freeman, but not Perriman because he can't blow by anybody.
Now Bullock. Taylor. He's had a big second half, but misses this one. Inside Baston.
Baston got fouled a couple of times and no call.
And it's out of bounds to Texas.
Baston can't believe it.
A foul has been called, or a timeout. Let's see. I think Texas got possession and then took a timeout.
Look at Steve Fisher. He can't believe it either. Watch it. Baston here. Puts it back up. Nothing happens. Gets hammered 2 or 3 times. And there's Hill, who has been all over the floor, coming up with it. No foul here.
And Hill called the 22nd timeout when he got the ball.
Well, he's done it all here in the second half.
That was a very big exchange.
54 seconds down for 2-possession game. If you're Michigan, you've got to get possession. And that arrow still pointing in favor of Texas, so that timeout didn't take away the possession either. I like this lineup here by Tom Penders. He may be looking to go long.
Jordan gets it in right on the sideline. Dangerous. Freeman dribbles out of traffic, now runs into Bullock.
Gotta go long. Gotta go long here. Get the ball up.
They just beat a 10-second count.
Boy, I thought they had to do it with a pass. Gonna play keep away to get fouled.
And Freeman fouled by White.
Still only 1-1. That will be the 9th foul of the half.
17 fouls now on Michigan. And Reggie Freeman.
Well, one Big Ten team was able to make a miraculous comeback. Iowa with the 17-point comeback against GW. But this may be asking too much of the Big Ten here.
Still a 2-possession game, even if Freeman hits this one.
Yeah. But they got to get it up quickly and probably get Bullock to get some kind of screen and put up.
Conlon comes in for White.
Let Conlon handle the ball. Fife and Bullock get out on the outsides, and Baston and Taylor go for rebounds.
A lot of iron, but it drops for Freeman.
There you have Conlon with the ball. They got to think 3 quick. There's the screen.
Inside the ring. That's a two-point shot. He's got it. Timeout, Michigan.
Perfect execution of what they had to do. And Steve Fisher says, now wait a second. Was it a 3 or a 2? He was inside and stepped back.
When he left the floor, I think his left foot was inside the ring, Billy.
Absolutely. Not where you land.
Timeout of Milwaukee in a 4-point Longhorn lead.
Tonight's show is the happiest show ever.
Texas 76, Michigan 72, 24.9 left. Each team with one timeout remaining. Texas gets it into Freeman. And he's fouled immediately by Morton.
Bob, there was no question on that last shot that Bullock was inside the three-point line when he took off. Now watch him. He's inside the line. He steps back, he elevates, and right here you can see that he was on the wrong side of the three-point line, correctly called by the official. Two-point shot.
Reggie Freeman.
Go get quick in here now. 1-1, ready?
A 4-point lead for Texas.
Remember what Tom Penders said about missing some free throws in key times, so
buries his 21st point.
Not about to do it tonight. It's a quiet 21 points, isn't it? Didn't hit any jump shots.
And only 1 3 for Freeman.
Right. Had a real tough time from the outside. Was well guarded by Michigan, but he can score.
Baston to White.
What are they waiting on?
Fife. Baston puts it in. And Michigan uses its final timeout here with 11.8 left. And Texas leading 78-74.
Well, Bob, as expected, the number ones are still all alive. Who are the giant killers, guys that beat number ones? Well, Duke has beaten number one 7 times. They're out of here. North Carolina 5 times, still in. Indiana 4 times, they're out. Kansas 4 times, they're still in. And Michigan 3, they may be out of here. So Kansas and North Carolina, the 2 teams that have knocked off the most number ones that are still alive. Kansas, Purdue, is that a possibility? What do you think?
And the North Carolina team put together a very impressive performance in Richmond tonight, winning by 30.
After starting out the game 0-8, is that what it was? 8-0?
I believe that's the
wrong direction. Well, Texas and Tom Penders have advanced here. 1-1.
Penders keeps a streak alive, barring a miracle here from Michigan. Penders will be 7-1 in his coaching career in NCAA first-round games.
And that includes Rhode Island, where he won in Chapel Hill.
Here's Bullock driving and scoring.
Smart play by Texas not to do anything whatsoever. What do they call here?
They have called
a technical foul for too many timeouts.
3.2 left.
Texas players, remember last year Syracuse, the only way they could possibly lose to Arkansas, called too many timeouts. And here now, Chris Webber called 1 too many. Smart play by Texas to let Bullock go in uncontested. Texas will advance.
And Brandy Perryman at the line.
Is 35 of 37 technical fouls that he's made in his career. He shoots them all. He is now 36 for 38. There's the timeout called by Baston, and of course Texas will get the ball out of bounds. It's their ball game.
And now Texas takes the timeout. Seed Texas, 3.2 seconds away from victory here over the 7th seed Michigan to close out the Milwaukee portion of the Midwest. Here's Freeman, and he misses at the buzzer. Texas advances. 80-76, and the Longhorns go on to beat Wake Forest. Earlier today here in Milwaukee, Louisville won in overtime over Tulsa. Villanova won big over Portland.
There was some nice sportsmanship right there, telling Maceo Bass that he not only played a fine ball game, but that timeout wouldn't have made a difference.
The Genuine Chevrolet players of the game. And we honor two young men from the state of Texas. Dallas's Maceo Baston for the Michigan Wolverines. Lamont Hill had a great game, key steals and key buckets to lead the Texas Longhorns to victory here tonight, 80-76 over the Michigan Wolverines. Texas advances to beat Wake Forest. Jim Nance will join us in New York in just a moment. Bob Rathman, Billy Packer, so long from Milwaukee.
Okay, Jim Nance back in New York. Coming up next for most of you, it's your late local news, followed by The Late Show with David Letterman and his guest tonight, Bruce Willis, right here on CBS. The scores from the back half of our doubleheader tonight, closing out with Texas and Michigan. Texas winning 80-76, but out there in Tempe, still one game in progress. Arizona leading Valparaiso by 39, led by 36 at halftime, did Zona. But it's 39 now with inside 2 minutes to go in that game. Here it is, Texas advancing to the next round to face Wake Forest on Sunday. For the second time in 4 years, Michigan in the tournament ends its run with a timeout that doesn't exist. April the 5th of '93, Chris Webber's timeout in the championship game ended, dashed the Wolverine hopes, and tonight with 3.2 seconds to go, Michigan down 2, and you know, there really was still a chance there for Michigan had they not had that blunder.
I agree with you. I think it was a slim chance, but nonetheless, it was a chance for them maybe to make a foul and get a chance to maybe tie with a three-point shot, hoping for a missed free throw.
Or even steal the inbounds pass. So
right.
Texas wins at 80-76, and Tommy Penders does a great job in this NCAA tournament.
He certainly has over the years.
Back to his days at Rhode Island and doing it also through the years at Texas. Some of the other scores we want to go through. Georgia Tech and Austin Peay, and Matt Harpring, 27 points, 10 rebounds tonight, Clark, in that one.
Yeah, he's a solid player. Really does a great job night in and night out. He's really undersung, but he had a big game again tonight.
ACC had a big night tonight, 3-0 after opening the tournament 0-3. That conference, Tech, Wake, and Carolina advancing. And in fact, as Georgia Tech moves on to the next round, there's North Carolina, 83-62. Tar Heels were down 15-5 at the start, then somehow turned it around and built a 32-point lead before a final margin of 21. Jeff McInnes had quite a night, too.
Huge game. Not only did he have 25 points, but he also had 11 assists. That 25 points matches his career high.
Serge Zwicker also with a good night as the Tar Heels move on and will face Texas Tech on Sunday there in Richmond, East Region action. We'll continue on the road in just a moment.
Matchup, the Boston College-Georgia Tech matchup. Boston College was excellent at the defensive end tonight. It'll be interesting.
Cincinnati and Temple played earlier this year, and Cincinnati chopped them up pretty good. Now, in the West, in Tempe, this has just gone final now. Arizona, as they're walking off the floor with a 90-51 win. Lute Olson and Arizona. Lute Olson will go against his old team, a team he directed to the Final Four back in 1980, Iowa. Arizona, Iowa, and Santa Clara, Kansas. Didn't hear it, in fact, before now. Let me tell you that Steve Nash from Santa Clara had 28 points, 12 rebounds, and a win over Maryland.
Yeah, he had a tremendous game running the show, handled that pressure of Maryland, did a great job all day long.
I've enjoyed being on the road with you here in the studio. I'm heading to Milwaukee, okay?
Safe travel.
All right, thanks. Pat O'Brien will be here tomorrow, 12 noon. We'll get the quadruple header underway. Until then, Jim Nance, thanks for being with us on the road to the Final Four.
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, what's up?